Thank you so much for coming in, Casey. It's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to PwC Canada's Toronto office. Let's dive right in. Perhaps you can give us an overview of eSAFE and the primary services you offer.
eSAFE is an electrical inspection and certification agency. We do inspect and certify the electrical equipment as per the CSA codes and standards. We are accredited by Standards Council of Canada to do the field inspection and field evaluation. Once we have inspected your equipment and put in a label, that means you can legally use that electrical equipment or sell anywhere across Canada.
For context of a general layman public, how would they see eSAFE? Where would they typically see eSAFE in their regular life?
From a general consumer perspective, you don't see much of them. This happens majority in the manufacturing plants or mostly in the industrial part of it, because we don't do a consumer electronics labeling that is done by UL or CSC. There are different agencies that do it, but we do it in a much more on the manufacturing side at an industrial level.
So what would make eSAFE unique?
That's a very interesting one. I think although eSAFE means electrical safety, that's why we said eSAFE. But I say what makes us unique is the E in it. That is what I call it as experience. And when I say experience, I talk about the average experience of our inspectors is around 25 years. And I would say that is pretty unique amongst our competitors. I'm not saying that we are the only people who have that, but we are one of the few who have it. And then the other part of it is the experience to the customers that we deal with. We have a service level agreement to ourselves that we commit to respond to you in 48 hours, that is 2 business days. So this is the speed and this experience, the depth of experience that we bring in is what makes eSAFE unique.
It's amazing.
What's your vision for the business?
This sector is changing rapidly, right? When you talk about this electrical equipment, and especially in the industrial part of it, when you look at what is happening around, there is a lot of automation that is happening in the warehouses. That means this automation, whether they're using AI, they're using the new technology, RPA, all these kind of things that they bring in, all those electrical equipment needs to be certified. So there is a huge growth in this. And we not only service our customers in Ontario, but we do it all across Canada, as well as in US. We have a partner TUV where we do the certifications in US and some of the European clients as well, because there are large multinationals that are there. When we certify a particular equipment in Canada, they ask the same inspector to fly to Poland, for example, and do the same certification part of it, because majority of the international codes are pretty similar. They're different, but they're very similar. So coming back to what is the vision of it, I think it is about how can we make the customers really easy for them to really get this certification. How can we make it easier for them is what is the vision. And that is where one of the things when we are launching about self-service, when we are doing any of our improvements and process enhancements, we are thinking about the customer, because there is a lot of things that they are dealing with. If we can make this portion of their life easier, I think we have achieved our goal and vision.
That is phenomenal. I love your vision for the business, and it has been a pleasure working with you and your team in doing the Microsoft Dynamics 365 implementation. Thank you for giving us your trust and this opportunity to work together with you. If you had to say it in one sentence and what your experience has been working with PwC, what would you say?
Collaborative. I think I didn't even take one sentence, I would just use that word, collaborative.
Casey, can you tell me about the business challenges that you are encountering and how you address those through the use of Dynamics 365?
I think the biggest challenges that we had is we had separate systems for the field inspectors, on mobile and on web, where there was data syncing issues. There was no self-service option to our customers, so they were always calling the back end, that is our CSR team, to really get the information that they need. So there was a huge workload. So after implementing this system, what changed is the customers have the power of looking at the information that they want at their own time, a self-serve component. And for the field service people, it is an integrated solution, whether they are on their phone, they are on their laptop or anything. And as well as the CSRs or the back office have got a reduction in calls, which lets them focus on other things.
So with any system of transformational nature, Casey, as you may agree, adoption becomes the most critical success factor. Can you talk a bit about how you're driving the adoption with the inspectors and the customers alike?
I think first I'll talk about the inspectors, because like the digital dexterity of our field inspectors varies from 0 to 100 kind of thing. But like what we have done, we as a team, like PwC and eSAFE together, we have ran a 3-day workshop for all the people where we went through each of the scenarios that they face in their daily life to understand like how they will use this system, so that like they got the familiarity part of it, as well as like they could troubleshoot by themselves. So that is one thing from their side. And from the customer side, like it is about like giving them the information, and like they had no system. So the customers are actually lapping up, because we are telling them you can look at your invoices, you can raise your requests. So it is a new feature for them where the customers are excited that like I don't have to call the call center to really get that one in.
As a visionary in your industry, where do you see yourself going next?
eSAFE is a non-regulated part of like ESA. We work as an arm's length distance. So like when I go to the ESA part of it, where we have a risk-based oversight engine that we built in for all the inspections that we do. But like that was built 5 years ago. But with the latest and greatest that is available in AI, where like I think that like we can really enhance that RBO and like create an engine that will help to make Ontarians safe, as well as for the inspectors to really be more efficient.
So thank you, Casey, for the opportunity. It was fun working with you, and I think together we accomplished a lot, and looking forward to a lot more of this.
Thank you.